All right. Okay. Thanks, Andrew, and thanks, everyone. Good morning again. I'd like to also say a very big thank you to Ronald for his presentation already. Plus, I think he gave a very good uh, oversight or insight as to what is to come in the telecommunications sector in PNG. So for PNG Dataco, we are one of the major infrastructure providers, basically for digital infrastructure. So today's presentation here, I will give you a sort of a roadmap on how we are planning to continue the development of digital infrastructure in PNG. I think you will understand that the PNG Dataco, we have been in operation since 2014. So far, we have around 7,600 kilometers of fiber cable that we are rolling out to facilitate broadband access throughout the country. And we also have two operational data center now. All this infrastructure is to the tune of around 350 million so far. It's been invested. I will talk a little bit about the ICT market, which Ronald has mentioned as well. The impact of data codes so far after our operation in the market, the development of NTN, how we plan to support the e-government services, even the private businesses as well, and some potential for collaboration with various partners to continue to further the development of technology in our economy. Uh, well, PNG market, I think, as mentioned already by Ronald, has a very big potential still in the ICT space in itself. The growth rate is not reaching 1/3 as yet in terms of mobile penetration, and even internet access as well is quite low, around 14 to 15%. As you can see, compared to the other countries like Fiji, Fiji is oversaturated market already, and some of those statistics show for itself. So the trend here is that there will be no different in terms of the growth that is expected from the various areas that technology would bring, especially digital technology in the economy. So it's the companies and those businesses and government agencies who realize the value and potential of this and then undertake that transformation or migration to digital technology so you can benefit very quickly from that. Yeah, so we have been participating in the industry as an wholesaler, focusing on fiber assets and satellite assets. We provide services to Digicel, Telecom, and B Mobile, and now we are looking closely to work with Vodafone, which is very soon to operate at the coming end of the year. So since our establishment, I think what we have noticed, which is very obvious, is the impact on the wholesale pricing that we had. It has reduced tremendously, and that has also fostered the development of broadband capacity uptake around the country. So that is the things that we have been managed to achieve during our operation, which is part of our objective when Dataco created initially. You will see that this is the curve here that shows the reduction in pricing, wholesale pricing in when we were introduced in 2014, and then all the way up until 2021 now, and the uptake of capacity. So we are basically now up to around 22 gigs on average, been managed throughout the country, both domestically and internationally. So that is the type of capacity you're looking at since we started operation in 2014, where we had only around 2 gigs. The pricing reduced from 3,000 kina per megabit in 2014 all the way down to 300 kina now in 2021. So that's a very big reduction in pricing as well. Our network is all around the country as we continue to extend it further and further into those economic zones and where the population is. We are in the 16 coastal provinces as well as all the highlands provinces using terrestrial fiber. We've got 2 data centers, one in Medan that's up in the north and one in Port Moresby, already operational now as we speak. So this is basically our infrastructure. We have built satellite infrastructures around the country as well, around 21 trunks that also supply redundancy for our cable links throughout the country, and those very small amateur terminals or VSATs of around 300 that is currently online now throughout the country. So that is the infrastructure that we have. We have got around 16 POPs, basically where you can connect to us and access internet directly around the country. That also is in line with where our domestic submarine cable lands in all the provinces. And we've got 5 international POPs so far operational. One up in Jayapura, Guam, Sydney, and then also down in Perth as well. Yeah, so those are our international POPs. So those are some of the infrastructure. We offer services that will basically support the government. That's how we see it in the future. We are building this digital infrastructure for transmission and also processing of data. Yeah, a huge chunk of data. And that we believe can be able to help government transform into the digital economy in servicing its people. And some of the benefits, I think, right down to the details have been discussed already by Ronald. Those are some of the things that we anticipate coming on board as we continue to roll out this digital infrastructure. So we are basically aligning ourselves with the objective of the digital transformation policy that is already in place and developed by the Department of Information and Communication. So we're putting that infrastructure platform now together for them to be able to roll out their plans going forward in getting the government to standardize and integrate themselves in terms of e-government services being rolled out to the country. Some of the services that we will be offering in our cloud data center that is already in place to assist the government. You're looking at all the virtual CPU services, so there will be no more infrastructures required for that purpose. You can use those virtual services basically to process all the information that you require in your data analysis for your businesses to make decisions. Yeah, so that's what you can be able to do. You also have the storages. We are offering storages, virtual storages space. You pay as you require, and then you don't have to invest in a lot of capital expenditures that can come with additional capacity, but you don't need to utilize as you go. So those are some of the things, but you have to maintain it again, and then it consumes a lot of power and then create the inefficiency that you're talking about. And then we've got those virtual CPUs that you can be able to use. Yeah, so virtual cloud services, virtual storage, and virtual. So all this we are offering now to the market, basically. And most of this will be in conjunction with partners like Vodafone, Fiji coming on board now. There are others that we have signed up arrangements with already, who we can work with to develop platforms and also software as a service for end users. Yeah, so for Dataco, some of the things that we are looking at and trying to propel is those technology-oriented services. So we're bringing in on board holographic equipment also that is now being tested for the country to utilize, so it can be used in lectures, workshops, conference training, etc. we're working closely with various institutions around the country now, educational institutions, to be able to develop those, let's say, platforms and infrastructure for them to be able to utilize to service their customers. So we are offering various services, as you can see, is the point-to-point link, both by the fiber and also the satellite. We are offering also internet also through fiber and satellite. There is the domestic point-to-point links as well that we are offering between provinces and various locations that you want. And then the data center services where you can come and follow with us, or just be able to share infrastructure to suit your needs. And then finally, the cloud services, of which we are also virtual machines and visual storage and visual CPUs for the business. So those are some of the things that we are currently being offering throughout the country. We know that most of the applications and platforms will be fostered by the market itself, those mobile operators, retailers. So most of the things that we are doing, we are partnering with those carriers now to be able to bring them and make it more conducive and accessible for them, and cheaper mainly, for them to spread their services throughout the country to all the population around the country. I think that's the key thing that we are working on towards now. Areas of potential partnership or collaboration with Dataco, we're looking at more investments. We've already done investment into the Komboi submarine cable. There's around 50 million US for the terrestrial fiber that we continue to roll out throughout the islands mainly, and some of the coastal provinces. We are also building redundancy through that. There's this investment of Coral Sea that has already been done, 110 to 35 million US. Yeah, so that's already been completed as well. And then we're looking at new projects, especially the second phase of the Komboi submarine cable network, basically to create redundancy within those loops that are already there, and extend the fiber along the highlands and make it more reliable. And also building another data center, hopefully up in the highlands, and focusing on new renewable systems and energy to support most of our sites around the country. Most of the downtime we notice is caused by electricity issues. So we are now working with certain partners to see if we can be able to utilize, for example, wind energy in some of our landing stations around the country. So those are some of the things that we are looking at now, to work with various partners out there, so we can be able to install some of these things and make the network more reliable. And then also working to develop the skill and capacity in the digital infrastructure management area, and especially data centers and cloud. I think we've noticed that in the country there's a lack of skill and capacity to support the provision of digital infrastructures around the country, and also importantly data center and cloud services. So those are the areas that we are looking at in terms of partnership going forward, and then how we can work with various partners to help to improve and support the continued development of digital infrastructure in the country. So we've so far been able to utilize most of the infrastructures that have already been built. The only thing that is yet to be commissioned is the Jayapura link, and also the link into Popondetta. We're still having no electricity to that site, and we are yet to complete the missing link between Popondetta and Kikiri Beach in terms of fiber connectivity and electricity, around 17 kilometers. But otherwise, all the other infrastructure that we have completed are now operational and in use. Yeah, so we're working mostly now on the redundancy and satellite visualization. So those are some of the areas that we think that we can partner with various SMEs or businesses that are out there, so we can be able to improve the access of technology throughout Papua New Guinea. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. I think I've managed to move very quickly, Andrew. So yeah, most of the benefits, I think, in terms of the technology that will be coming on board later in future, spelled out clearly by Ronald already. I'm not going to repeat myself on those areas, those opportunities we are trying to create. So we are creating that platform now for Papua New Guinea. So the time is right now for investors to come in, partners, and help us, to contribute that endeavor, that initiative that we want. Yeah. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Paul. Are you able to take a quick question from Richard Busby?
Yes, no problem.
Excellent, excellent. So given the focus on investment and building infrastructure, reducing telco costs and so on, what would you see as the percentage drop in overall data and telco costs for consumers, say by the end of 2022?
Vodafone is coming in at the end of this year. So like I said, one of the challenges we've seen is the drop in the wholesale pricing not being passed on to the end user. Either the market will force that to happen, or we will see the regulator stepping in. We know that Telstra is also coming on board now. Well, if everything goes well after their final assessment, due diligence, etc., that will also create a different dynamics in the marketplace. I think one we are all hoping for that will continue to put pressure on reducing the price of services offered to the people. We will continue to support it. That's where we are. We've reduced it by almost 40% now, the pricing for wholesale. We have not seen that been trickled down to the end user, namely, I think, because of the competition at the retail market in the mobile space. I think we still have a significant market player in there. So that is why we haven't seen much. But you can see that there is an uptake by usage of mobile phone in other various carriers that are out there now. So that means that there is competition that is in the marketplace. So once I think Vodafone comes in, that will add on to that competition much more, and only continue to the reduction in pricing, and that's where the customers will win. So I hope maybe by 2022 we will see at least a 50% reduction in the retail price. I think I can guarantee you that. I think the market will be moving very fast, and it will be probably very aggressive as well.